In the last video, we learned how to construct a frequency distribution using Excel. We learned it a long time ago in Chapter 2, and we had a little refresher. So now we're going to construct a frequency histogram using Excel. Now in this video, I'm going to use the old version of Excel, the Excel that I have on my computer, which is Excel 2010. Now if you have a version of Excel that looks, well, the screen, I hate to say it, looks a lot brighter and whiter. It has less of this ribbon up at the top. That's Excel 2013. And I'm going to make another video for that, and that'll be posted soon. So when you're on the tutorial page, if you're in the older version of Excel, that's this video right now, which will be Excel 2010. And then if you have the newer version of Excel, you're going to want to stop this video and go click on that other version of Excel. Okay. The table doesn't really matter which one you do it in, so they're basically the same for constructing the table, but the graphs part has really changed quite a bit between the two programs. Okay, so here's what you do. You highlight your frequencies only and do not highlight the total at the bottom. The total at the bottom was check yourself so that you could make sure you were getting all your data trials. But we're done with that now. We don't want to get rid of it, but we don't need it for the histogram. It's not part of the histogram. So we highlight the frequency column, we click Insert, click Column, and there you have it. So now we just have to edit a lot of this. So you have to click on Frequency and press Delete, and that'll make that go away. And then we have some issues here. Let me click on Layout for starters. And in the Layout tab, these are all the chart tools up here, Design, Layout, and Format. If you click off of the graph accidentally, they disappear. Oh no. But if you click back on the graph, they're back. See? You can't really mess it up. So you click on Axis Titles, and you're going to need a horizontal axis below, and you're going to need a vertical axis. I personally like the rotated one myself. Right, now the rotated axis is easy. You just, let's see, I'm just clicking on it and typing the word frequency. I had to delete the old word there, or you could double click and kind of get all of it. And then here, oops, close, not double click, I meant kind of select all. There we go. So I highlighted all of it. Now this was wait times for me. Now it'll be different for your problem, so you'll have to put in what the appropriate title is for your problem. So, but for me, this was the wait times. And you can see that my numbers are totally wrong here. So my horizontal axis needs to match my values over here. So what I do is I click on that number, so horizontal axis, I right click, and I'm choosing to select data. Oh no, format axis, that's it. Nope, I was wrong in the first place. Select data. There it is, select data. I was correct in the first place, I should say. And I want to edit my horizontal axis label, so I click Edit. And my axis range, I'm just going to move this window over so I can see it, is from D2 all the way down to D13. So I clicked on D2 and I'm holding down my left mouse button and I'm dragging it down all the way to D14, and then I'm lifting up. And then it says 3, 4, 5, that's what I want, so I say OK. OK. So now the axes are labeled correctly. Fabulous. Now we have a couple other problems. One is that I don't particularly like this color set, so I'm going to go to Design. I'm going to click on this little menu system. Now remember, you have to print this, so you do not want to use the black ones, as cool as they are. They're not really great. So I'm just going to change it to a flat aspect with a little gray background, but you can change it to whatever you like. Just remember, you have to print it, so it has to come out on your printer. And the black ones do not print well. They waste a lot of ink. All right, now the only other thing is that since it's a histogram, we learned in Chapter 2 that histograms need to have it so that there's no gaps between the bars. So I'm going to format my data series. I'm going to change this under Series Options. I'm going to change my gap width to 0. And while I'm on the subject, I want some borders in there. So I'm going to click on Border Color, make it a solid line, and I'm going to change it from blue to black. And then I'm going to click Border Styles. I'm going to change my width. I'm going to up it to like 2, make it really bold. Cool. Now I've got some borders and everything. Now the only other thing I needed was the title to be changed. So let me type what that is. So I think I'll call it Frequency Histogram of Wait Times or something like that for me. All right, there we have it. Technically, it's the number of customers waiting in a line, but you know, what you gonna do? All right, so we have that all written down, and we have our histogram drawn. So we have title, a title, we have our big title, our chart title at the top. We have all the histogram bars touching. We made it so that they're borders. You don't actually have to do the border part or change the color for that matter, but I like it better personally. Now all we have to do is print all of this and we're done. Okay, so to print, we're going to go to File and go to Print, oddly enough. And you can see this is not printing like we want it to at all. This is no good to us. So, and notice how when I made that font size bigger for that table, it really shows up nicely. So I'm going to change it to from a portrait orientation to a landscape orientation. That'll fit more of it, but you can see I still can't get it all. So I'm going to go back to Home. And you can see between the L and M column, there's like a dotted line now. And you can see that that's where the one page ends, the next begins. So I'm going to delete this extra column in here. That'll give me some more space. And I'm going to move this histogram over. And I want to make it nice and big. And if you want, you can even click on these, like these numbers were coming out pretty small. So you can click on the title and you can click up here on I have Calibri as mine, but I have my size. I can make it 12. Click on this and highlight that number and make it 12. You can even change the axis numbers if you want. You can make them like 11-point font or whatever. As long as it fits on the inside of that dotted line over on the right-hand side, you're good. There we have it. All right, so if I go to File, Print, there I have the table and I have the histogram. Everything is beautiful, and I can just print it right there. The other option you have, which is also a really nice option, is if you highlight the table, just highlight the table, go to File, go to Print, and then you could go to, instead of Print Active Sheet, click Print Selection, and it would print just the table on its own sheet of paper. And then you could do the same, click on the chart, right? So see the chart is highlighted, go to File, go to Print, and that makes a chart fill up the whole page, which is always a nice option. So it's Print Selected Chart. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Click off onto one of these cells. Don't have the chart clicked on, that won't print well. So click off here on the cell somewhere, then File, Print, and you can get the whole page. So either do both of them on one page or do each one as their own page, whichever way. Oh, one other thing real quick. It is a very smart idea to put your name somewhere in a cell, because sometimes these papers get separated and your instructor will be like, who did this? So put your name somewhere. So my name is Jane Doe. I don't want to write Alana Tucky because I know who the instructor is. You don't want the instructor name, you want the student's name. So put your name somewhere on the sheet, so that way when you print it, and you can even do it up here in the titles or whatever, but you want it so that when you print it and attach it, it has your name on it. That way the instructor will know whose it was, just in case it gets separated, because it's usually, well, it is stapled at the back, and that can sometimes fall off. All right, we're all done there with this one. I'll show you how to do it in Excel 2013 in a different video. So if that's your version of Excel, hold tight and watch the other video. See you then.